I think it's time to move on to the new topic. The first one is trigonometry. But for now, the one I really say is only Namanda. They will another egg. There was one of the parabola graph, the graph, the graph numbers, functions and what? Graphs. Functions and what? Graphs. Okay, so Toma, the Konaga, we have to go back to grade what? 9 a bit, né? You know, I usually go to grade 9 a lot. So in grade 9, you were taught how to sketch a what? A linear graph or a straight line graph. Firstly, we're talking about the gradient. Do you remember the gradient? Between 2 points, né? Gradient is what you were taught. That if you have a point A, maybe let's say it's 2:1, point B, maybe is 3:2. And then if we are looking for the gradient for this line, we know that the gradient is represented by letter M, right? Which will be AB equal to 3 minus 2. Am I right?
Yes.
No, 2 minus 1. I wanted to test your mind now. Then it will be 3 minus 2. It's x1 minus x2 over y1 minus y2, right? And this will be 1 over 2. This is our gradient. Ne? So now, if we are looking for the equation of what? Of the straight line, we have a formula that says y is equal to mx plus what? C. Well, m, this one is the what? Is the gradient. What does m represent? Gradient. Ne?
Yes.
Then, let's now go and find out the equation of this line. Ne? Line AB. The equation of what? Line AB. Ne? What we're going to do, Chow Tom, is that we have y mx plus c. We now know the what? The gradient. Ne? And you calculate the value meaning yes, c. We must find the value of c. So let's try it. What we are going to do is that we are going to take any point between the 2 points. Anyone that you need. Ne? You can use A or B. Which point should we use here?
B.
Okay, let's use B. We are going to say 2 is equal to, what is the value of the gradient? 1 over 2, right? In the bracket we have what? 3, ne? Plus C. Then C is equal to, we take this here, which is 3 over 2, ne? Is equal to 2. Then we take this one to the other side, minus 3 over 2. Press your calculator, and you will get 1 over 2. Press your calculator, and you will get 1 over 2. Am I right?
Yes.
Then, when we move further, our equation of this graph will be y is equal to, what y is equal to? Y is equal to, gradient is half, right? 1 over 2x, and then plus what? 1 over 2. That's the equation of the graph. That's how we find the equation of the graph. Then, if we are to sketch this linear graph now, listen to me well, né? If we are to sketch this graph, there are a lot of methods we can use. Some of you can use table method and then apply restrictions, the negative numbers to positive numbers. Ne? So for I to develop this graph, I'm going to teach you the simplest method to sketch the graph of what? A straight line. Ne? The simplest method will be to find the y-intercept. Ne? Are we together? Where we must let what? X equal to 0. That's what we've been doing in grade 9, remember? So now y is equal to y-intercept, let x equal to what? 0. Ne? Then y is equal to 1 over 2 in bracket, we put what? 0 plus 1 over 2. And this gives us what? 1 over 2. Are we still together? Okay, now we need the x-intercept. Ne? We let y equal to 0. And then 0 is equal to 1 over 2x plus what? 1 over 2. Are we together? Then what we're going to do is that we're going to have negative 1 over 2 is equal to 1 over 2 what? X. Am I right? Then dividing both sides by 1 over 2, we get x equal to negative 1. Are we together? Hello?
Yeah.
Can we now sketch the graph? Can we now sketch the graph? Okay, let me try about it. So let's now sketch our graph. I think we copied these points. Okay. So now let's now sketch this graph. We are going to do the following stuff. The very simple stuff ever. We're gonna have negative 1 this side. Is the what? X-intercept. What is an intercept? An intercept is a point where the graph cuts on the axis. Are we together? An intercept is a point where the graph cuts on the x-axis.
Yes.
So then, we also know that our y-intercept is what? 1 over 2. Then we will have 1 over 2 here. Then this point will be like this. Sorry. Then you must just join those 2 points and you have your straight line graph. Naming it y equal to 1 over 2x plus 1 over 2. Any question before we can go further and take feathers? Zuko fara. Come on.
Hizi zigrafu unizileta zikos x na zisek x kana ndizi apari kutoita grafu page
Apart from that graph, like unati graph has a cost. Like we will do that. Trigonometric graphs is another topic for another day. So now we are dealing with the parabolic graphs, functions and graphs in fact. But having taken out the graph, I mean, the trig. Are we together? Okay. Any question? Any question? Okay. No problem. Let's move on and then let's try another one. Let's try another one. Hey, you must know in an equation. Okay. Now, if they were to tell you now that look at that, what they can do. They can tell you that sketched is what? Sketched is okay, but let's give you like point A here and point B there, and then the question will be sketched above is what? F of x equal to negative, was it negative? 1 over 2x plus 1 over 2, Hello? Sorry, can you say is 1 over 2x plus 1 over 2. They will tell you sketch above is the graph of f equal to 1 over 2x plus half. They say to you guys, determine the coordinates of what? A and B. If you can look at this graph, it has what? A positive what? Gradient also, right? So this is the very same question, but in another what? Manner or in another form. This is the very same thing but now we have to deal with it. Question, I think of coordinates here. Coordinates here. So now we have to find the value of x and y here, or the value of a and b here. Okay, let's try it together. The first thing you're going to do, you look at A. What is happening at A? This is the x-axis, right? What is happening here? Just look at it and tell me what's happening. What's happening is that the graph cuts the what? The axis. Which axis? X-axis. It makes it and what? X-intercept. So it's the x-intercept. Then we know that at the x-intercept, y equal to what? 0. We already have the value what? Of y. So we should find what? The value of x. Are we together?
yes.
We should find the value of x. And when we find the value of x, this is what is going to happen. And we are going to say, we will copy this equation. We will f of x equal to 1 over 2x plus 1 over 2. And then when we copy it like this, we know that this here, we said f of x, this 0, right? We replace it with a 0 there, and then we are having half x plus half. Are we together? Then we take half to the other side, which will be 1 over 2x equal to negative 1 over 2. Having divided by 1 over 2, x equal to what? Negative 1. Are we together? Finding x equal to negative 1. This tells us that coordinates of a is negative 1 is to 0. Any question? Any question? Okay. Na coordinates za B. Okay? We are now looking for the coordinates of B. Coordinates of B. B is the y what? Intercept. I told you guys already. An intercept is a point where the graph does what? Cuts the axis. Are we together?
Yes.
An intercept is a point where the graph will cut the axis. Then this means B is what? The y-intercept. B.
Y-intercept.
Then at y-intercept x equal to?
Negative 1.
In a y-intercept x is 0. At an intercept, if it's y-intercept, x is 0. If it's x-intercept, y is 0. Then this means that this y-intercept, x is what? 0. We already have the value of x. All we need to do is to find the value of what? Y. Then equation is f of x equal to, remember, this represents what? Y. So it means that our equation will be half x plus half. Are we together? Which will be 1 over 2 in bracket 0 plus a half. Are we together? And then y equal to 1 over 2. This tells us that the coordinates of B is 0 is to 1 over 2. Any question before we can take further? Simple, right? SABC. Okay, then let's move a little bit further and check the parabol graph. When we look at the parabolic graph or parabol, we have what we call a parabola graph. This graph, listen to me and carefully. This graph is in the following manner. You will see it by square. It's represented by what? Square. Like the moment you see x to the power 2, then you have what? A parabola graph. So we have the shape of this graph. The shapes in this graph. If it's looking upwards like this, if this is the graph of what? X squared, you understand? Then, but if it's looking upwards, it's what? Positive. The x is positive, But whenever it looks down like this will be negative. It means this is the graph of what? X squared, and this is the graph of negative what? X squared. Are we together? That's the shape of what? The parabola graph. Having said that, you already know how to find the y-intercept and the what? The x-intercept. Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah? So, okay, let's just do this for some times now. Let's say now if we have f of x equal to x squared minus 4. Okay? This one, we will go to the turning point. Like for now, our let's focus on the y-intercept and what? X-intercept. Okay? The y-intercept of this graph, listen to me. Y-intercept, we let x equal to what? 0, right? This is the y-intercept. It will be 0 squared minus 4, which is negative 4. That's the y-intercept. Okay? To find the x-intercept for this graph, you must factorize. X-intercept, let y equal to 0. Then x squared minus 4 equal to what? 0. Ne? We are going to factorize this, or then you can even take this 4 to the other side. Ne? It's the same thing. It will be x plus 2, x minus 2 equal to 0. Ne? And then x here will read the negative 2, or x here will read the 2. Then having this point, we can now sketch our what? Parabola graph in this fashion. Hey, graph will be drawn in that page. Just because we're going to happen, we're not point it on page. Banana, we only have how many points? 3. Right? Then negative 2 to negative 4. Here, we just have to let our graph just like this. This is the graph of what? Y equal to x squared minus 4. Any question? No question, right? So this is a positive this is a positive parabola graph, ne? This is a what? A positive parabola graph. So okay, let's try now. If we had a negative 1, I just want to show you something. Let's say now we had negative 3, or let me just grab this one. And this one, yeah, even this one is longer needed. We are done with it, and this graph. Let's just remember that this y equal to x squared minus what? 4, ne? Okay, now if we had the graph as the following: y is equal to negative x squared plus 4, ne? We need now to draw this one. It's negative, that one is positive, ne? I'm telling you, the shape will be the same, but the graph will look down. You understand? Let's try it now. I just want to prove to you guys the issue of the shape that I told you. Right? Let's now look at this graph. This was going to happen. Can you look at the now? Here what's going to happen is that to find y-intercept, we let x equal to what? 0, right? Hello? To find the x-intercept, y-intercept, we have x equal to 0. That will be y is equal to negative 0 squared plus 4, which is 4, positive. And then now, to find x-intercept, let y equal to 0. Then negative x squared plus 4 equal to 0. We multiply everything by negative what? 1. Negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. So that we may obtain the positive what? Quadratic equation. It will be x squared minus 4 equal to 0. Any question? Any question? Then x minus 2, x plus 2 equal to 0. X equal to 2 or x equal to negative 2. Ne? These are the very same intercepts you can see. Ne? But the only difference here will be this one. Our y-intercept is no longer here. What's the difference? The difference is that this one is negative and this one is what? It's positive. Negative x squared plus 4. That's the only difference between the two graphs. Are we together? Okay. Then let's move on. Now, to find the turning point, we are now going to look at the axis of symmetry. I can't show you here, but this point here is the axis of symmetry of this graph. And the axis of symmetry is the x value of the turning point, or the x value that divides the graph into two equal what? Halves. No, okay. We are going to look at what we call what? The axis of symmetry. We are going to look at the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. I usually say exit of the symmetry. Get him a reader. Axis of what? Symmetry. So now we are going to look at this. Né? So, the first thing that you have to do is you must know the formula. Your axis of symmetry is negative v over 2a. Nah? I will explain what I'm talking about. Remember the equation of the parabola is represented by ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the standard what? Formula for parabola. This is the parabola equation. Like I didn't say this at first, but now you have to know it. Nah? That's the standard. That's the standard